Hey y'all. I thought I may as well come on since I'm doing this thing. I don't know how I got here, but I put racetrack in my GPS as I was leaving the parking lot of Dollar Tree because I saw the guy in the security car and I don't want to be guilty of, trespassing, I guess you could say. And I'm so tired. It's like 10:30. I didn't even know that the time had changed on Sunday. Somebody just told me yesterday. But I'm usually up from 11 to about 3 o'clock. That has become my normal schedule if I lie down and don't have to get up early. But tonight, I'm still in the Uhaul, thank God. I think her name's Aisha, I forget her name, at Uhaul. So she mentioned to me when I was bringing the truck in Friday that the best she could do was let me pay something and just be on a payment plan. And I know I'm gonna knock that money out. But this U-Haul, I thank God for this U-Haul. I don't want to be at nobody's house that don't want me there. I don't want to be in a house that does not have an extra bedroom or even has an extra bedroom and don't want me there. I could easily sleep on somebody's living room floor, to be honest with you. But what I will say is I've learned a lot. And wonderful young lady by the name of Colleen drove over to my U-Haul truck when I was sitting outside of Dollar Tree. And she was just letting me know that the black cats were out there and they were running under the truck or whatever. And I said, oh yeah, they're just playing. They're cool. And she sat there for a minute and I asked her if I could videotape her so I could get the footage in on what we were talking about. Long story short, she stayed for a while. She actually gave me a can of wet cat food. But actually it was kind of chunky. I think it may have been chunky. But it's a cut that I haven't been feeding them. And of course they were, I guess they were stray cats or abandoned cats. And so when it's time to eat, Spirit is never act like that. I mean, Spirit will get in the way if I'm trying to pour stuff in a bowl and she be trying to lock onto your leg or rub up against your leg to let you, I take it as her saying thank you. But sometimes she can put her head in the way when I'm trying to pour food into her bowl when I'm doing the dry food. However, I love Spirit so because we had a great routine. We communicated and we had our stuff that we do. And it had to have been culture shock for her. She really hasn't rode in a car since 2021 when I had the stroke. So it used to be, and there's videos of us riding together and she'd get up and perch herself up on the dashboard and stuff. But I, really calling to say, I really gotta pee and I don't want to pee in the bucket in the back. So I'm thinking of looking up a racetrack. There has to be, I know there's one in Jefferson. The reason why I go with racetrack is because they are very well known for having clean bathrooms. I love it. And I don't have to go through all of the rigmarole. So I know there's a Jefferson Parish one. I'm just trying to get my bearings. But I'm somewhere on Chapatula I'm at a storage facility. I think it says, what's that say? Oh, I can't see. Extra space storage. Funny. I saw this and I just pulled up. Because before I knew it, the sign said Chapatulas. And I'm like, I was not trying to go across the bridge on the Atlanta side. Not Atlanta. On the New Orleans side. And then I'd be sitting there thinking deep to myself, everything happens for a reason. You know, I was going to go by Travis's and sit out in front of his house, my play nephew. However, he's having artistic rehearsal tonight with his folks. And he sent me a text. I don't know what DNP is, but he was apologizing to me for not returning my call earlier. And I was thinking it'd be cute if we could get together and make a video like the ones that I've made, just discussing the grief, the depression, the abandonment, the growing up in a household where you were never right. You just, everything was wrong with you. And it's tough. You know, not to say I didn't have a good mother. She was good, but she was like a lot of us are. Some people are dealing with emotional and mental stuff. I strongly believe my dad was dealing with histrionic behavior. Now, is it histrionic? I think so. I had the opportunity to stop by the great aunt's house before we went to his house to see him. Mind you, I hadn't seen him since 2016, 3 years after Mama's funeral. I called him one night, and before I knew it, he was talking loud, and I could tell from his voice that he was going to be hanging up. And I didn't want that to happen. So I piped down and I kowtowed to him like I do. And bless his heart. I forgot what I was finna say. But anyway. Why am I falling asleep? Okay, I don't know. I had a wonderful conversation. I wish to God we had recorded with Miss Colleen out at the Dollar Tree parking lot. She was a wonderful person. She moved here from Wisconsin. And she was really relating and sharing with me when she asked what was the video about. When I asked, could I take a video? And I gave her my card and I told her I won't use it except for the vocal ones. I was like, but they could hardly hear you. They could really only hear my side of the conversation. But if, I told her if she changes her mind and give me a call, and that I would not have anything printed without her permission. But the conversation, but I had to catch myself. Because as I was talking, she was sharing her story, very personal story. And it's pretty much the same as mine. That was what brought tears to her eyes. And she said, we go through these lives thinking it's just us. But, and she told me she had just come from the grocery store, and she sat there and talked to me for a good little while. And I said I had to stop recording because I have to be who I am. And it's not important to get this message out there virally so much as it is to minister to you as a person who has crossed my path tonight. I didn't care to tell her about a church I go to or anything like that, but just looked her in the eye and spoke into her spirit that she was doing a good job and that she would be okay. And I'm glad I didn't get it on tape, because we shouldn't be taping everything. It's just a personal moment. And right then and there, I knew that people are hurting. People are ashamed to tell these stories. It's embarrassing. And you're putting yourself out there for them, all these different people, to say all these different things. But, I just believe God. This U-Haul is my truth. I couldn't get everything off the truck today. I wanted to get everything off the truck today. The other days, I ain't want to get everything off the truck, but I tried. I did try. But today, I didn't want to ask that lady for another day. I really didn't. This ain't about no videos and all of that. I'm just embarrassed that I don't have a credit card that has $13 on it for emergencies. Layoffs. Discounted services. People not paying you what you're worth. They're charging $300 on services, and I don't even get $50 out of that. They be giving us 20%. If they give us that. And don't let the person may accuse you of everything from, they may accuse you of a lot of stuff. And the spa, and that's what I hadn't liked about the W Spa, which was supposed to be a bliss spa. They are quick to vouch for a client over like you're a great therapist like me. I am a creature of habit. And as you can see, just talking, I stop and explain stuff. If I feel that I'm saying a word that people may not be familiar with, or try and spell stuff, which means that I'm not just loosely in there doing massage. Yes, I went over on a lot of people sometimes just because I was given and I could. Other times, spirit would be moving. Sometimes that person would be in the middle of they would be cut open. They'd be in the middle of a breakthrough, or in the middle of an emotion, in the middle of a story about a dying parent or a child lost in labor, anything. And I'm just the kind of person, I don't want these people crossing my path, and I didn't reach out and give what's in my hands. There's fire. Fire of the Holy Spirit is in my hands. It's an all-consuming fire. I can't go through a hospital and just heal everybody and get them up out of there. Well, I could if the spirit would cancel. If that's how the spirit moved on me, I could. But realistically, there are times when the Lord uses me in that way. And healing can be anything from a miracle to just a pat on the back and a look in the eye that says, "You're doing good. Don't stop." I'm tired. Physically. I have not eaten all day because I was so concerned about getting all that stuff off that truck and put in storage and moving on to plan B. Well, I don't even have a plan B, but just moving on to the next thing. Go get in the shelter. Go do something. Because the team that I was dealing with at Absolute Care, I was so excited. Oh, I forget her name. Was it Rachel? She was a new person there, but everybody, Scott was going to be my doctor, my therapist. I only got one session with him last Friday. And then he realized that because I don't have Medicaid, he wouldn't be able to see me again. Because Absolute Care doesn't accept Medicare. They only do Medicaid. And it was told to me that I would be receiving Plan A Medicare, and whatever Medicare doesn't cover, I would get Medicaid, which would include the service of Absolute Care, who is looking out for people holistically, who have wonderful staff when you walk in that door. When you walk in that door, it's about, oh, Jesus, I got to move. And see, that's what I'm talking about. These cars are coming off the interstate exit, and they're driving so fast until they are shaking this entire U-Haul truck. So they would have to be going 100. coming off the interstate, and it's just ridiculous. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I don't feel like driving. I did not mean to leave Gretna. I was gonna stay over there and do. Oh, I was gonna stay over there and do. I was scared to stay in the parking lot because they asked me to move earlier, and I don't know who's seen the videos. I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know what that boy went back and did, the trap house boy. I don't know what he went and said to them people. You know, I don't know who's looking for a Uhaul truck to be out there parked by the medical center that Eric said I could park by. And even though I know that's not Eric's lot, Eric was just he was keeping code. That's what we call keeping code. You know, when somebody of your ethnic background sees you in public or in need, there's eye contact. We're in public when you guys are minority. There's eye contact that you make, and there's an unspoken, and I would even venture to say that it is a transcendental, if that's the word. In other words, I'm saying you transfer something in the spirit when you make eye contact with that person. You may do a nod or whatever, or even just move your lips to say hi. Or, you know, that's staying on code. That's a black person saying, I understand your journey. I understand what you've been through. I saw David Allen Greer, who I just absolutely love this trailer. I cried when I first saw the trailer about Magic Negroes. Matter of fact, I think it starts coming on tomorrow, today, or something like that, March 7th. Whatever today, I don't even know what date it is. But it looks like it's a supernatural thing, kind of on the level of a Harry Potter sort of thing, I guess, romantic comedy. But it's dealing with racism in America. And these are tight subjects, but just for what I saw from the trailer, they're doing it. They're doing it. That's what I see. The time I spent leading intercessory prayer from I probably started leading prayer around 90. Oh, God. Well, I got filled with the Holy Ghost in 89, and I know it wasn't long before I was casting out devils and holding things in my dorm room at Morris Brown for people to come, and I have gotta pee. And I just don't want to go back there and get the bucket. This is the other part. Getting the bucket. And because I'm 52-ish, it wouldn't make good sense to hold it. But it's 10 o'clock and I need to go to sleep. But before I do that, I need to eat so that I don't go into a diabetic coma while I'm asleep. And I don't even have a taste for anything. I don't want to eat because just talking about this stuff all day, it brings you down. That young lady that I met tonight, Colleen, I could just see the pain in her eyes concerning the topics that I was bringing up about healthcare. My Medicaid was canceled December 31st, thinking I was getting a Part B. But because I make, let's just say, the limit that I can make in order to qualify for Medicaid is, I think that thing said $1,200 when Scott showed me that was in his office. And if my rent's already $1,200 and up for a 1-bedroom, then how on earth do Lord, I need to stop talking, but I gotta get this out. How on earth do I, get the pets and people to watch my kids and all that kind of stuff? And America's gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something from this entertainment industry. There needs to be laws that you cannot sexually harass people and you cannot force and intimidate them into sexual acts. You know, I rented a room from a young lady. She wanted me to work her breast. One time when I had been called to do a massage at the Ritz-Carlton across from Lenox, as I said earlier in one of my videos, when it was time to go, I started putting my stuff together really fast. And I don't even put my table in the bag. I just get all my sheets, my stones, or whatever I've brought with me, and I put it outside the room. And when they close the door and say goodnight and they've paid their fee for the service, then I'll put my stuff together out in the hall. So this one particular time, I was putting my stuff together out in the hall, and all of a sudden I heard that voice. Heard Holy Spirit saying, hurry, get to the elevator. You need to be at the elevator when it opens. So here I am walking as fast as I can, dragging the doggone table. And when the elevator doors opened, it was Trina Braxton. Tony Braxton's sister. It was the Ritz-Carlton at Lenox across the street. It's a different hotel now. Something starts with a W. But it was her. We got on the elevator, and I said, I know who you are. And she looked at me and said, I know what you do. And we laughed, we chuckled, and of course I bust out that business card. By the time we got to the ground floor, she said, and this is how she approached it. And the reason why I'm telling this story is because this is how you approach a licensed professional with a business card, whether you know what they do in a massage or not. And again, that's why I got so mad when Larry Reed said that. Everybody ain't doing foo-foo. And everybody that asks for services like to work their breast, to work their buttocks and stuff like that. I work buttocks all the time, pretty much in every session. And I'm not working buttocks. If you read my SOAP chart, the report, I'm working your gluteus maximus, minimus, and medius. They're muscles that stretch from your pelvic, where the sacral is, that round bone, and they originate either there or in the hip or vice versa. I've been out of school going on almost 20 years, and so a lot of the specifics I've forgotten. However, I haven't forgotten how to locate a muscle, how to palpate the body, because we were taught at Blue Cliff College in Shreveport. I'll never forget the first day Robin started off the class teaching deep tissue, but I'm not going to go there. I'll tell that in another story. But I thank God for those teachers. Jeff Kitchen. Oh my God, Jeff. For your information, if you ever see this video, I slept in a recliner in the back of this Uhaul with the blanket that you gave me for my birthday one year. Jeff, actually, he was one of our instructors, and he taught the, did we learn anatomy from him too? But the biology and stuff, And that's another thing, they're overworked too. Massage therapist teachers are very overworked. And then when you come in, everybody else quit because they've been working there overworked. There's my stomach burning again. This is why I don't come on and talk about this stuff. I can feel the stuff going on in my stomach about it. Not that I haven't had stomach problems in so long. Ozempic is the closest thing to a stomach problem, and it really wasn't. It was just, you're nauseated, so you throw up. And you do number 2. So be careful with Ozempic. It comes out the front and the back. I remember one time I was on the van, because I ride the van to Medicaid covered that. They'll take you anywhere around New Orleans to your doctor's appointment. They come back and pick you up. So I was on the bus, and my driver had picked me up, and we were sitting at a red light, and all of a sudden I just started vomiting. It wasn't retching or anything. It's just like it just oozed up out of my throat. Because usually I can catch myself. Well, actually, I felt sick first and I grabbed my towel. Because I'm always carrying a, which towel is this? Not the washcloth. So it's the hand towel. I usually have one on me because there's usually sweat, especially since I've hit the 50 mark. I know for sure that my body had gone into menopause. And so, did I mention how tired I am? What was I telling y'all about? Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say something. Anyway, yeah, I think I need to move because I don't like how fast those cars are coming off the interstate, but I thought this was going to be a safe place. However, on the other hand, it's on the New Orleans side. Tchoupitoulas is close to downtown, and I do not feel comfortable in my spirit just coming across that bridge. New Orleans got a whole nother vibe that other cities around it don't have. Of course, there's a lot of work going on here. However, now that I've done my studies, I'm not against it. I just prefer that people do light work and not dark work. But however, is there a light and a dark? That's stuff we've gotten from the King James Bible. Some stuff just is. Because if you're praying to make sure somebody gets convicted for a crime on the inside, then you're doing what's right. Why would you have to suffer for that? So, but and still I'm scared. I left KFC. I wanted to turn around and go back and get me a whole nother 2 legs and a thigh. Because I was trying to cut back instead of getting the 4-piece, and it took forever. But the manager ended up being real cool. She came around and to the front, and I started discussing with her the whole school thing, going back to school and living in the car and yada, yada, yada. And she encouraged me to put my stuff in storage because she was like, you ain't going to be out here forever. Now I forgot my point that I was telling about this story, so I'm just going to hush. But tune in. Ooh, that sound like an Uber. I could have jumped in. Tune in to Midway Baptist Church number 2. I believe they have a website. And check out what's going on. And be open. Be open to learning other things. See, my thing is, my commitment to God is high. It's very high. The trials I go through, or I had to go through, they're unmentionable. And they were at the hands of my Father. What you want? There's some hand sanitizer over the sink. Because I don't hardly have none in my little drawer. It's about empty. But, yeah. You better leave your room like it was. Why am I having a dream that I looked into Good Samaritan's owner? What is her name? I just got her some flowers because she's so sweet. She's always good to me when I come in there. Not a hassle. Y'all live your life and try to be as hassle-free as you can be. Well, there's always somebody worse off than you. Always. There are thousands of men out there in the church doing a whole homosexual thing, thinking that it's okay. And it's not okay. I'll have to finish the rest because we're at the grocery store now and I have to go in. Alrighty, goodbye.